What happens when a lie unravels in front of everyone you're trying to impress? In the heart of downtown's most exclusive boutique, Elegance Emporium, the air was thick with the scent of leather and ambition. Karen strutted in, her heels clicking like a metronome of entitlement, her designer sunglasses perched atop her head like a crown. She was a regular, known for her loud complaints and louder outfits, but today, she was on a mission. In her hand was a sleek black box, and inside it, a $2,000 designer belt, or what was left of it. The leather was torn, frayed at the edges, and Karen's face was a storm of indignation as she demanded a refund, claiming the belt was cheap and faulty. The accusation echoed through the store, drawing curious glances from customers browsing silk scarves and tailored suits. But something about her story didn't sit right with Mia, the sharp-eyed store manager who'd seen her fair share of drama. Karen's voice cut through the boutique like a siren. "This is unacceptable," she bellowed, slamming the box onto the glass counter, nearly cracking it. "I paid a fortune for this, and it falls apart in a week? Your brand is a scam." Her words were a performance, each syllable designed to shame the staff and rally the onlookers. Customers whispered, some nodding in sympathy, others skeptical. Mia, calm but steely, examined the belt. The tear was jagged, not a clean manufacturing flaw, but something deliberate. She asked politely, "Can you tell me how this happened, ma'am?" Karen scoffed, tossing her hair. "It just tore. Wore it once, and poof, trash. I want my money back now." Her tone was a challenge, daring anyone to question her. But Mia wasn't alone in her suspicions. Enter Leo, the boutique's quiet but meticulous security guard, who'd been watching from the corner. Leo had a knack for noticing details others missed, and he'd seen Karen's theatrics before. Last month, she tried returning a stained dress that reeked of her own perfume. Mia signaled Leo with a glance, and he stepped forward, pulling up footage from the store's high-definition cameras. "Let's review the purchase day," Mia suggested, her voice steady but firm. Karen's confidence flickered, just for a second, but she doubled down. "Go ahead. You'll see I'm right." The crowd grew, drawn to the unfolding drama like moths to a flame. The screen flickered to life, showing Karen at the counter 2 weeks prior, gushing over the belt's exquisite craftsmanship. She'd worn it out of the store, strutting past mirrors, clearly thrilled. But then, another clipped him stamped 3 days ago from a camera outside the fitting rooms. There was Karen, alone, tugging at the belt with a pair of scissors from her purse, her face twisted with intent. Gasps rippled through the crowd. A customer, an elderly woman named Mrs. Chun, who'd been quietly browsing nearby, spoke up unexpectedly. "I saw her that day," she said, her voice trembling but clear. She was muttering about teaching them a lesson. "I thought it was odd." The twist hit like a thunderclap. Karen hadn't just been caught. She'd been exposed by an unassuming witness. Karen's face drained of color, but she wasn't done fighting. "This is absurd," she shrieked, pointing at Mrs. Chun. "She's lying. You're all conspiring against me." She grabbed the belt, waving it like evidence of her innocence. But the gesture only highlighted the tear's unnatural edges. Mia stayed calm, her voice cutting through Karen's hysteria. "Ma'am, the footage is clear. You damaged the belt intentionally. We can't offer a refund for customer-inflicted damage." The crowd murmured, some shaking their heads, others recording the scene on their phones. Karen's bravado crumbled, but she wasn't ready to surrender. She lunged toward the counter, knocking over a display of crystal keychains, sending them crashing to the floor. "You'll regret this," she screamed, her voice raw with desperation. The confrontation reached its peak as Leo stepped in, his presence towering but non-threatening. "Ma'am, you need to leave," he said, his tone leaving no room for argument. Karen's eyes darted around, searching for an ally, but the crowd had turned. Customers who'd once sympathized now looked at her with disdain. Mrs. Chun, emboldened, added, "You can't bully your way out of this. Own up to it." The words stung, and Karen's defiance shattered. She tried one last tactic: tears. "You're humiliating me," she sobbed, but the performance felt hollow. Mia, unshaken, printed out a formal notice, and slid it across the counter. "You're permanently banned from Elegance Emporium," she said. "And we're reporting this to the brand's corporate office for attempted fraud." Karen's world collapsed in that moment. The boutique, her stage for showing off wealth and status, was now a place she could never return to. Her sobs turned to silence as she grabbed her purse and stumbled toward the door, the crowd parting like a sea. The belt, still on the counter, was a symbol of her downfall, torn not by a flaw in its design, but by her own deceit. As she disappeared into the bustling street, the store returned to its quiet elegance, but the energy had shifted. Customers whispered about justice, about truth prevailing. Mrs. Chun, now a quiet hero, smiled softly as Mia thanked her for speaking up. "Sometimes," Mia said, "it takes one voice to tip the scales." The story of Karen's ban spread like wildfire. Posts on X lit up with clips of the confrontation, hashtags like Karen Caught and Boutique Justice trending for days. But beyond the drama, there was a deeper lesson. Karen's lie wasn't just about a belt, it was about entitlement, about thinking rules didn't apply to her. Her downfall wasn't just a ban. It was a mirror held up to her actions, forcing her to face the consequences. For the staff and customers who witnessed it, the moment was a reminder. Truth has a way of catching up, no matter how loud the lies. What do you think? Did Karen deserve her ban? Or was the boutique too harsh? Share your thoughts on X and join the conversation about standing up to entitlement.